Yeah, fellas, welcome to the show. First piece of mail. Some positivity from Dan Student. Hey, Player Supreme, this is just an update. I felt I should share because of the craziness of trolls lately, lol. I think they're done. They learned their lesson and they realized they had a person, bring them down on their team with some closet shit. And by exposing that, I think that just kind of, shamed them. All they'll do now mostly just thumb down some shit. Actually, now that I've said something about it, they'll probably make out a free account and come in and get their comment deleted. Eventually, they'll realize the intelligence of, all I'm going to do is delete their comment and block them. So they'll just give up. On a serious note, though, like you said, what's inside of you comes out. Let me explain. It's funny because after a confidence kicker, I expect women to be attracted to me and want to do things for me and the rest. I met a few who want to do things and more for me. One actually sees to it and often check up on me, make sure that I reach my goals and wants me to succeed. Another wanted to meet my family, introduce me to hers, and believes in me also. I actually had interest with a Zumba instructor, but then find out that she was a daddy's little girl and trying to give me a contract, so I let her go. Good. But yeah, my biggest focus right now is establishing a foundation for myself and really move up in this world. Something I took Eric Thomas, greatness is no longer on my parents' shoulders. No more greatness is upon me. I hope this helps those who are confused about you and learn that you are the real deal as long as they do exactly what you say and do the work. And it's true, what's inside of you will come out. Okay? Like the fellow that I busted that was part of the team that was trying to troll the channel. It's inside of him. Someone made a comment that one of the Wachowski brothers had a sex change, and I don't hate transsexuals, or I don't even hate homosexuals. I understand that transsexuals, I saw a program on it many years ago that my girlfriend, she was a makeup artist. Anyway, we have a brain stem in our brain that's like we have a certain section of our brain where the stem's like that long. In women, it's about that long. And transsexuals, it's almost as long as women. So they feel all these womanly emotions. And I thought about that for a couple of years in the back of my mind. And I thought about, a buddy of mine switching teams and stuff like that. And I started thinking, I think metaphysically. So we live in the physical world, but things happen on the energy plane first. So I started thinking about, okay, what if these people's souls, because I understand that souls are actually coming back faster now. It's like speeding up. If you're into metaphysics, you know that about that stuff. It used to be like hundreds of years before a soul would come back, but now it's like, bam. And they go find some research on that. I've done research. You see that there's a kid that in India that could describe his former family, knew where they lived, and all this other kind of stuff. It'll trip you out. But you don't have to believe in that kind of stuff. If it makes you feel weird or something like that, don't bother. Just ignore what I'm saying. Speed forward. So anyway, if souls are coming back that much faster and they're carrying the energy of their last experience, let's say they were a woman and they come back in a man's body, that explains why these people say that they feel like they're trapped in the wrong body. Their soul's still carrying the energy, and by the way, energy tends to change you. Like when the soul comes into the fetus, it changes that soul, that fetus, rather words. Okay? So maybe that's why their brain stem grew a little bit longer. It's just my theory. So I don't hate on them. And that fellow that was looking at the information, I don't hate on him for it. I just, busted him. There's something inside. So if you look at your outer world, and your outer world isn't the way you like it, you could trace the source of that problem to something that's going on inside of you. Okay? And a lot of it stems from our childhood. I've done my own research into this. I was just talking to the old farts at the coffee shop, One guy, Mr. Willie, he's stuck in his ways. But there's a one that's 65. I gave him some information that, a DVD that he really enjoyed, and he's now hungry for information. And we had a good conversation. Mr. Willie believes that integration was a good thing. I'm a product of integration, and I say it was not a good thing. Okay, I grew up with because of integration. I should have went to an all-black school. It would have been better for me. But I was military anyway, so that's not going to happen. But I believe I would have got better self-esteem and confidence and knowledge from black instructors versus white instructors. And I'm a product of that, okay? I grew up in this when they started integrating kids. So I'm like the first generation out of that whole thing. And my generation grew up low racial self-esteem. Because they wanted, cover, okay, we got to do something about the black kids. Let's put them down. Let's crush their spirit. So, they went into, American history, and they had to cover the slavery section. You open up the book. I remember in, third grade. I didn't know we were slaves before that, by the way, fellas. I didn't know my race was slaves. Just recently, nobody told me. If in a black school, it would have been introduced to me in a way that, if we'd known truth, they would have covered, African history and how it. We went into Spain and conquered Spain, and then they were running the Moors out. The Catholics, the Catholic Church outlawed contracts with black Moors, and then that led to, let's go down to Africa and get slaves for the new country. Okay, that would have made more sense to me instead of opening the book and seeing this big fat Aunt Jemima, one with a rag around her head, type of stuff, and a little black Sambo kid at her running around her feet. That was their, back in the 60s, that was their impression of black folks. So I'm totally against integration myself. Doesn't make me a racist. It just makes me believe in empowering my own race. Okay. If we had that, because I saw that as a tool, I now see that as a tool by the power that was in control, a way of destroying our self-esteem, because we had black schools back then and people were growing up with strong self-esteem. Case in point, both of my ex-wife's parents went to a black school, all black school. They were more successful in life than my parents were that went to integrated schools. Also, my parents had lower self-esteem than my ex-wife's parents. Okay, and I've seen that again and again. Their parents, her parents were raised in the South, mine were raised in the North, so to speak. So for that reason alone, I believe that black folks should be taught by black folks, so we get the real history, not the stuff that's put out that's European dominated. No offense to European folks or Caucasian folks. We do know that the history books are nothing but a pack of lies in there. So anyway, we're talking about history and stuff like that, and it's good to actually have good conversations. And the word needs to be spread to black folks and white folks, so we can actually give you guys real education instead of the fake shit you get. So getting back on point to what's inside, going to come outside. So I grew up with low self-esteem, low racial self-esteem. So what happened when I got to an adult? My whole life was fucked up. I hated being black. I hated my own race. I hated that white folks looked down on me because I was black. And it took a long time to erase all that false stuff that was going on inside of me. But that false stuff created a world where my whole life was fucked up. Okay? I attracted the wrong people into my life, all because of that. And I look at things that are going on right now. I just had a conversation with one of the guys I train. His nephew is an advanced editor before a movie hits the mainstream. He's the one who does the last edits, and he was telling me how his nephew was talking about all the stuff they want put in there, edited in there, all the political stuff. He said the nephew said it's very political. They use movies to make statements, and that is so true. Just like music, we invented rap, but rap was not a good thing for the African American race. Every time I start my car and I hear someone else start their car in the parking lot, they got the loud rap music. Melanated people, we absorb energy. We absorb all spectrums of energy. If you got color in your skin, brown color or black color, then you absorb all forms of energy. Okay? That's why music, you're absorbing the energy of that music. You know, the vibration. Okay, it's absorbed into you. So if it's angry rap, no wonder why black folks, you know, we're feeling frustrated all the time. We can't define it. That's why we got to smoke weed. Does it not make sense now? The whole cycle, how we run to weed and other drugs just to relax and chill out. They got us. They own us through our own music and through they use stuff like TV. I've been paying very close attention to what's going on in the TV world. How they're making black characters look in the TV shows, the ones I watch. And I can see what they're doing. I hope you guys wake up and see. Pay attention now. You African American or African descent people. Pay attention to what's going on in the TVs when in relation to black folks. Like they killed off T-Dog and they brought a new black dude in. Shit like that. In True Blood, both of the blacks are homosexuals. A lesbian and homosexual dude. I know what they're doing. But they are programming our kids. That's what's dangerous. That's you guys. Okay? There's a whole good study by Dr. Umar Johnson, I believe his name is, on the feminization of black males. Just type in the YouTube, Dr. Umar, feminization of black males. White folks do the same thing. Look what they're doing because they're doing the same thing to your people too. Okay? It's not just one-sided. It's going on everywhere. They are really, really pushing to dumb society down and to feminize the males. I just watched a program coming out of Japan. They're called Herbivores. And one kid, I just wanted to kill him. He was so feminine. I know the old hard Japanese just want to just give him one chop across the neck and break that punk ass neck of his. God, he was putting makeup on, and he doesn't want to have sex with a girl. He wants to go on dates with her and just be friends. That is just some creepy ass shit. That's why it's creepy to me for males to have female friends. By the way, you guys who have female friends, you guys creep me the fuck out, really, because it's you don't realize it because you grew up with it, but that was programmed into you to do that. Okay, that's a sign of the masculinization taken out of you. You got a woman around you, you ain't fucking. Think about it in plain language. You got a woman around you, you ain't fucking. And never mind, you just waiting for a chance to fuck. No, you got a woman around you, you ain't fucking. Now, it's a different thing to make your girlfriend or your wife your friend, but no, we're not talking about that. We're talking about two people that ain't fucking, male and female. Okay, that's how feminized you males have become. And you guys who have female friends, don't bother writing. Do your own research as I've done, and you'll see. A lot of good books out there, a lot of good information. You can find information right here on YouTube. It's happening. You guys are the first forerunners of it. Look what kind of trouble you're having in the dating world. Look how your outer lives are all fucked up. They don't want you guys having power. They don't want you guys breeding, period. They definitely don't want certain races breeding. And it's all done through fear, though. You know, one race is afraid it's dying out because they have a negative birth rate. And the people who are the top tiers of that race, they don't give a fuck about the ones below them. That's just a breeding pool for them. But they don't want that race to die out. So they're pushing, destroying the planet, destroying the air, everything, just to save one little gene branch on the human tree. I say, no, fellas. It ain't going out like that.